Live from the Valley, it's your host, former Miss USA, Nia Sanchez.
Hey, baby. Okay, welcome to the Hold My Crown podcast, where we dive into life, pageants, reality TV, parenting, and so much more. Join us for special guests from your favorite reality shows and some of my very good friends, other beauty queens. This is Hold My Crown.
Hold my crown.
Hello, and welcome back to the Booko podcast. Oh, this is not the Booko podcast. Oh, we are the Bookos.
Might as well be.
This is the Hold My Crown podcast.
Being Booko.
Yeah, Daniel's been on this, Booko podcast title for a while.
I mean, now that I've just been in pretty much every episode, and
well, you
you're
are my
official
co-host.
co-host.
Yes.
Ain't Hold My Crown doesn't work here.
Well, speaking of Hold My Crown, little shout out to any pageant people out there. Not even shout out. This is a request. If you know someone that's good at making replica crowns, because there's so many out there. There's replica crowns of all the Miss USA or Miss Universe crowns, but I don't have one of mine. And I'm not even talking about the official tiara. I need to actually email Diamond Nexus. I'm talking about just one that I could have here while we're recording the podcast.
Oh.
I would love, it doesn't have to be expensive, just a cute little crown that I can use as a prop for the Hold My Crown podcast. So if anybody knows of a really great crown replica company, holler at your girl, let me know, shoot me an email, drop me a DM, because I would love to have a crown and we can use that as a prop.
Yeah.
But let's get into...
Or if anybody can find someone that does replica, Louis Vuitton bags or YSL bags.
We don't do
that.
fake in this house.
I'm trying to think of what I'm going to get Nia for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, don't get me that.
Just joking. Only the real thing for you, baby.
Yeah, we just have to fly to Paris because then you save some money.
I know.
On the bag.
I got you your YSL bag.
I know.
I want to get you a big Christmas gift. We haven't really talked about that. But this isn't a Christmas episode right now. But Christmas is coming.
We are talking about all things Vanderpump Rules and The Valley today.
Oh, dang.
But before we get into the episode, I have a teensy bit of housekeeping. We'll do a little bit of catch up, and then we'll jump right into all of our thoughts on all the ups and downs and crazy and cool and wild things that are going on both sides of our reality TV world, because we're friends with so many Vanderpump people. And then, of course, we are on The Valley.
Lord have mercy.
So first, the housekeeping. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you're here. But one thing I wanted to say is I was looking at the reviews. And
of what?
Just the reviews on the podcast. And it has been, I think, since late summer when the last review was left. So I love reading the reviews. I love shouting you guys out at the end of the episode with a new review. So if you have a moment, I mean, let's be honest. I don't know if I've ever written more than 2 or 3 podcast reviews myself. So I know it's not a common thing. But if you have a moment, leave us 5 stars. Drop a little review. We'll read it. We love kind of seeing what you guys are thinking and getting your feedback. And of course, the 5 stars helps because it gets the word out to other people as well.
We haven't had a review since summer.
Late summer. It's now almost Christmas.
Let's just quit.
Share the episode, share with your friends, your family on social media, tag us, Real Nia Sanchez, Daniel Booko, Hold My Crown podcast. So make sure you tag us. We love connecting with you guys.
Do it.
And now let's just do a little catch up.
Do it.
Yes. What's been the latest in life, my love?
Oh, we're talking about us?
Us. Just what are we going to do for Christmas? What's the latest? Just a little personal catch up, and then we'll get into all of the things. And there are a lot of things to get into.
Yes. Our latest is, what
are our holiday plans?
Our holiday plans.
There you go.
I was going to talk about the girls being on the show and how that's been going.
Sure.
And my voiceover on a new show that's really exciting.
Yeah.
The girls are still being CC, baby CC on Georgie and Manny's First Marriage on CBS, which got picked up for the back 9 episodes, which is very exciting.
And what that means is a new TV show will usually get picked up for a certain amount, and a full series is how many episodes? 22?
It varies, but yeah, usually around
the low 20s. And so they got picked up for 9 additional episodes after the first handful of episodes started airing.
Right. So after
That's
the
huge.
first handful, they see how the numbers are and like, it's kind of like a trial run,
Yeah.
And then it's been doing so well. And so they got picked up for the back 9. So they'll be filming, I think, until February?
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
filming into February with the girls.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yep. I've been doing voiceover on a new HBO Max show that's huge and very exciting. For Christmas,
Oh, here we go. This could be a Book-O button.
this is a book. What?
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. We love Christmas. We are going, unfortunately, to Florida.
Don't say that. Daniel has something against Florida. I am really sorry if you're living in Florida and listening to this.
Listen.
You do have something against Florida.
Well,
Don't say it. He has like an insult that he says every time he talks about Florida, and I don't like it. Florida is beautiful. Florida is wonderful.
It is beautiful.
There's a lot of crazy people in Florida, but we love Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also do get a lot of swamp ass when you're down there.
Oh my gosh.
It's hot, humid. Get that swamp ass.
Oh my gosh.
I like
This
being
is the man
in
that I
Michigan.
married.
I like being in Michigan when it's snowing. I like a white Christmas. That's what feels like Christmas to me. Every time we go somewhere warm, I remember one time all our family, we did like a Cancun thing. It just didn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
don't think
weird.
it's going to feel like Christmas. We won't have a Christmas tree. We'll probably have some jingle bells or something. And like some of the ladies are going to be like super moms and wrap presents in another state.
Listen, this is all my older brother's fault because he bought a condo down there.
Good thing they don't listen to this podcast.
And he does.
Your mom does.
Got a condo down in Cocoa Beach, and his kids are in school, and he's like, I got this condo down there, but the only time I can ever go is when the kids have off of school. So he ruined and screwed he broke up the family traditions that have been going on for a very, very, very long time.
So we're going to Florida.
So now we do Florida, California, Boston, Michigan.
Yeah, and we will be flying on Christmas Day. So this is actually a really huge argument that we had over multiple weeks. And honestly, since before we got married, let me tell you, we talked about this in pre-marriage counseling. So this is our Book-O button, I've decided.
Your Book-O button, homie.
It is. And I have a problem with the Book-O side of things when it comes to this. So we talked about this in pre-marriage counseling. I said, we'll figure it out before we have kids. But once we have children, what I consider a compromise, because Daniel's family, whom I love with all my heart, it is a little bit more your sister than anybody else, is very much like Book-Os, always, all the time, every holiday, never apart, always together. And I love the Book-Os. It's always a great time. I'm not saying I don't like being there, but now that we have children, my compromise, which like really leaves my own family out of the occasion or out of like the consideration.
Equation.
Thank you. One of those words.
It's early.
It's early. Is every other year we do whatever the Book-Os want to do, but every other year I want my children to have Christmas in their own home in front of their own tree and have those magical Christmas memories, waking up to when they're a little bit older, like, cinnamon rolls and bacon and like Santa came and just like these magical things that I imagine are Christmas memories. I don't have a lot before my parents got divorced that are like our immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
And so creating those memories and traditions for our family in our own home is really important for me. And Daniel / his sister / generally the whole consensus is Book-O, 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 Book-O. Whatever the Book-Os do, everybody does. So he's still on the train of whatever the Book-Os do. And I'm like, where is my compromise?
Listen, the compromise is we do almost every other holiday with your side of the family.
Christmas is different.
Correct. I know. The Christmas is the Book-Os. That's just how it is. That was a non-negotiable coming in, and you knew it from the get-go.
That is a lie. We talked about this in pre-marriage counseling.
Listen, this is
10 years
holidays
ago.
is about Christmas is very, it's been instilled since birth of just family being with family.
Okay, so this book button has not been resolved.
Exactly. We could talk about this for forever.
I'm forcing a mini Christmas morning at 6 a.m. because we were originally going to fly out on Christmas Day at like 8 or 9 a.m. I picked and pushed us back to a later flight that's like 11:30.
Let me ask you. We have 1.5-year-old twins and a 3-year-old boy. My thing was obviously, because we are leaving on Christmas Day, which one is genius for flying with under three. No, he's 3 now. 3.
We got to move on.
We got lots of kids. Not as crazy as travel. It being less people are traveling, and we would just do like Christmas Eve on the 23rd, and then do Christmas Day on the 24th, and they would have no idea because they are just thinking whatever we tell them.
Alrighty, so we have other things to talk about. Just little like tidbit notes of catch up before we move on to our break. But we already talked about our holiday plans. Kind of last holiday was Thanksgiving. We didn't make it to Brittany's like annual Thanksgiving that she does. So that was a bummer. Brittany from the Valley, from our cast. And I've always wanted to go. We're with my family.
Right. Did she do her annual thing?
Yes, just we weren't there because we were with my family.
I didn't see
and then
anything about that.
Kathy Hilton party and DirecTV party was huge. We did not go. I wasn't feeling well. And
we were supposed to go.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And all of our friends from our show were there. And then we told you our book button, which is clearly not resolved. We will work on it. I'll let you know when we get it resolved and figured out. We have more therapy sessions coming up, so we'll figure it out. Let's take a quick little break, and then we will come back and talk about all things Vanderpump and all things the Valley. And we have so much to dive into, so make sure you hang out with us. Alrighty, welcome back from the break. All right, Daniel, take it away.
Oh, man. Vanderpump Rules is officially over with the new cast.
It is, but we're actually going to talk about a few things outside of the canceling of the show, and then we'll get to all of our thoughts on that.
Take it away.
Okay, so there's been a lot of things in the news recently since it's also been announced that the show is no longer having their original cast. So very, very, very recently, James and Allie and his arrest.
Yes.
I don't want to go into it too much because, one, it's something sensitive. One, it's something also like, I imagine like really hard that Allie's going through. I did reach out to her. I don't ever expect a response. I'm sure hundreds of people are reaching out to her.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, do you have any just quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm confused because I thought he was sober.
Yeah, you keep saying that. He's clearly not sober.
Well, that's what people said at the party.
People said he was at the Kathy Hilton party, which is the night that the incident happened.
It happened after, outside of their home, I believe.
At their home.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then that there were no injuries. But then the police report came out, and it said that a woman said that she was picked up and thrown.
Mm-hmm. Body slammed to the ground, like thrown to the ground.
Right. But, so.
A witness said that.
Allie? Or
a witness.
That? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's still confusing. I know they are being a united front.
No, they are not.
Going in. They were, and now she has gone to an Airbnb, correct?
Right.
He is still
I don't think they
DJ.
were ever a united front. He stayed in the house. The next day she had work.
Right.
So she went and did her job. I don't think they were ever a united front. And then she just said, I need some privacy during this time. And that's the only statement that she's made. And I don't think he's made a statement. I think his lawyer had.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't think there was a united front on anything. You know what I would love to put in the show notes is a phone number that you can call if you are experiencing anything similar. Domestic violence is terrible, And there are so many forms of that, so many forms of abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, financial, mental, spiritual, all of that. There's so many forms of abuse. And I feel like having the resources to reach out to someone is very important. And I think, you know Justin Baldoni. And recently when the most recent movie that he did came out, It Ends With Us, something that he said that really stuck with me was, and I'm not saying Allie's staying or not, like she's moved out. I don't know what their relationship will be or not be, but for women in general that have experienced something like this, the question should never be, why did she stay? It should always be, why did he hurt her? Like there's never an excuse. It's never okay to hurt someone. And so I think that's more the question, whether or not whatever she decides to do, it's really like he needs help. So we've met him before. We've met him when he was sober. And, I think alcohol can definitely affect and change people. And you got to be really intentional with who you want to be and how you want to be as a person. So I hope he gets help. And I wish the best for Allie.
Yeah, absolutely.
All success and wonderful things and no experiences like she obviously experienced a week ago. And then, we are friends with Kristen Doty, who has spoken out very publicly and
dated him as well
and had physical abuse. And you said you saw it. I haven't even seen it. Rachel also has said that she experienced physical abuse as well. So this is not something that's new.
Many times.
It's not something that's a one-time thing. And, it needs to change.
Yeah.
We ain't got time for that. You said that you saw something recently about Tom Sandoval. Is everybody just melting down?
Dude, that's what
literally
just spiraling.
Midlife crisis all across the board.
Spiraling, or like, hey, we don't cancel us. We got so much drama going on.
Oh my gosh, terrible.
Pick us back up.
Oh my god.
Apparently he did a live, and
an Instagram live.
Yes, and addressing the fact that his girlfriend Victoria had said that he had cheated on her with one of her friends. And what is it? A tiger doesn't
change its stripes.
Doesn't change its stripes or something like that. So drama on that end.
Do you expect
Scandoval.
anything different?
I mean, Lord have mercy.
It's been his MO from any relationship we've ever seen him in. Like, I don't know. I feel like all these bad things, I don't want to ever make any excuse for anything, but like people make mistakes, but when it's repeated over and over and over again, that shows like you're not trying to change. You're not trying to become better. I do believe people can improve and become better people.
100%.
But like these actions are showing that nothing is changing.
Yeah.
I think Tom Schwartz is doing great. We saw him at Kristen's gender reveal, which we'll get into in a little bit when we're talking about all the Valley stuff. He seems great. He seems happy. I'm happy for Tom Schwartz. He's lovely.
Even though he's going through, the restaurant shutting down and, all that, he's just been
speaking of that,
such a positive light all the time.
It was a big week for all Vanderpump people. We knew Kristen was going to be announcing her pregnancy. This is a few weeks back now. And then the same day, it was the announcement of Vanderpump Rules cast being fired or
was it the
whatever.
Same day or was it the next day?
The same day. And the same day, I think it was the same day or the next day that the Tom and Tom are closing their bar. So it was like within 24 hours.
Schwartz and Sandy's.
Yes. All of these major things in Vanderpump life were happening. How do you feel about Schwartz and Sandy's being closed? Have you ever been?
Sadly, no.
When are they closing? Do we have time to go?
Yes, I think till the end of the year.
Should we go
end
quickly?
Of the year. They're trying like, hey, we want to go out with a bang.
Celebrate
Everybody come
us.
And celebrate. So if you guys haven't been to Schwartz and Sandy's, like,
come hang before we close.
Haven't.
Yeah.
We should
do
go
a date night.
Check it out.
Yeah. And then so let's get into it. How do you feel about Vanderpump Rules? It's been around for a bajillion years.
Did it do how many seasons? 12 seasons? 11 seasons?
11 seasons, and essentially it's done.
Or was
like there is a
11
new cast. It's 11 seasons.
Right. We'll get into the new cast. But I mean, the run that it had is insane.
Right.
I mean, to go that long. I do think and pretty much know, you know what I mean? Like it probably was going to be end or something was going to have to revamp before Scandoval happened. Scandoval gave it all new life.
Right. They were talking about ending Vanderpump before Scandoval.
Exactly. And then Scandoval happened, so they picked the cameras back up, and it was like one of the most viewed. And like anybody that didn't know anything about Vanderpump started watching, back from season 1.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it being canceled? OG cast canceled.
Yeah, I think it was time. In the sense of so many people were going and doing their own things. And they're just at, different stages of life. Obviously, Ariana's killing the game in every area. And, I think they're thinking, hey, we just got to get new blood in there and see what happens.
I do feel like the cast had an idea. And if you listen to like Sheena's podcast or anybody else talk about it, they kind of had an idea, but the news actually like broke and kind of caught them a little bit off guard, at least some of them.
Yeah, they got the call the night before,
like
right?
the night before, yes. It was just very like big. I do think they could have done like a little more of a bow on it. They could have done a final like 3 or final 5 or episodes where they were kind of just seeing the end of the show and where everybody else is going off in their own directions. Obviously, the end of season 11 kind of did that with like the way they kind of did the throwback of like when they first started filming.
Right.
But I think they could have been like, oh, this is what Sheena's doing. This is what Lala's doing now with her new baby. And like everybody's just so in a different area of life. And that's friendship. And I do think the show is so successful because these people all were so close, really living their life like together, doing things together all the time. So it's been really real.
Yeah.
And then over the years, people change, grow, develop, have families, and they may not be as close as they once were.
Right.
And so you can still film a show together because you still are friends, but it's just not maybe what it used to be.
Yeah.
Do you think the new cast will be as crazy? Do you think it will be as successful? Do you think they're going to go a whole new direction? What do you imagine?
I don't know. I mean, if they're starting, I think it is like back to like workers at SUR. So if it's,
do you think Charlie's going to be on there? You know who she is?
Charlie,
the girl.
Charlie.
No, not that Charlie. The girl that was on there with kind of more like friends with Rachel. No, you don't know. Okay, keep it moving.
I think if they get like young, hungry, crazy, like
and they won't pay them
back in that are in their 20s,
they're
like,
living in like small apartments,
exactly,
all the craziness that it used to be.
Yeah, that are a close knit friend group. Then we'll see how it could blow up. If not, we'll see how the audience responds.
We should go into SUR and have a date night because those goat cheese balls are amazing, and we should like scout out the servers and be like, who do we think is going to be on the show?
Yeah.
If they're really pulling from like the SUR environment, we should do that.
Okay.
Let's have a little date night.
I'd love to.
My mom's in town. We can get out of the house
we
after
can have
7
some date
p.m.
nights now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Like, do you think the new cast will be successful? I really do feel like they had lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's going to take. I think everybody will watch the new season 12.
I think.
And then we'll go
at least
from
the
there.
first couple episodes.
And then we'll see. Is it good? Is it not?
Yeah.
Who knows? You just have to get, honestly, like young people that'll drink a lot and act crazy.
Exactly.
And it's going to be some type of drama.
100%. So obviously the recasting, and I want did they get fired or did they retire? I feel like they retired the show.
That sounds nicer. We'll say that.
It is
we'll
nicer.
Nice, of course.
Do you think the new cast and them doing a new show, but the same show, Vanderpump Rules, helps our show, The Valley, or takes away from our show?
You know what? I do think that people have familiarity with people on our show.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if more people, now that they don't have the OG Vanderpump, are going to kind of gravitate towards our show a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because we have some OG Vanderpump people, and we've already had a season 1, so people know who our cast is now. They're getting to know us.
And season 1 did so well.
Did great. Yeah. I do wonder. I don't know if there's any possible way, if there'd be any crossover, even if they have us do like a group dinner out at Sir or something, because we were doing crossover with Vanderpump when season 1 of The Valley was filming.
Right.
Like we had Lala and Sheena, and they're all our friends. So like we hang
Brock
out with
and
them,
Tom.
and then some people from, the OG Vanderpump crew that are now on The Valley went and hung out and shot scenes on Vanderpump Rules. But
Right.
I don't know if there's going to be any opportunity for crossover now, unless it's literally some of us going to Sir and they are serving us because they're servers.
And that's
I don't know.
obviously because we had Jackson, Brittany, and Kristen.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And we don't have relationships with whomever this new cast will be. But that could be you and me. That could be our plan. We could go to Sir, get to know the people, and be like, hey, let's film a scene when we're at the restaurant.
When people have already seen what's going on behind the scenes in season 2.
Yeah, we don't need a crossover.
I don't think we need anything. I think this is going to be one of the craziest seasons of any reality TV
Of,
show
like, reality
you've
TV
ever
history.
seen in your life. Buckle up, people.
Let's take a little break, and we are going to catch you up on all things The Valley. Let's take a break. We'll come right back.
Please.
Welcome back from the break. We are talking about all of our Valley people and our life. And it's just not the show, but what life is like right now with all of our friends that are on the Valley. So what is the latest? Literally last night, from when we're filming this, or we're recording this podcast episode, last night I was at Zach's place in WeHo, and we did a little Christmas ornament decorating at his place, a little party. I walked in.
I wasn't feeling too well. That's
Yeah.
why I've been dealing with a little.
Exactly. So you
I
didn't
did
come.
a head cold, and I had to do taxes,
Yes.
which is so much fun.
Yeah, you were invited. You just didn't make it because you weren't feeling well. I did not tell you. So when I first walked in, Zach had this ugly Christmas sweater that had solo cups all over it in the shape of a Christmas tree.
Oh, yes.
And then he's so creative. I think it's mostly Benji. He's very creative too, but Benji had a lot of these ideas. Benji is Zach's boyfriend, and he had everyone who was attending the gathering their name in the solo cup, and then you had to pull out a name. And so instead of making an ornament for yourself, you had to make an ornament for your like surprise, like kind of mini Secret Santa. So that was really cute. And then all of a sudden, some of the girls before I got there apparently got really competitive, and they decided it was a competition. And so they were going to vote for the winner.
Love it.
And I was like, dang,
Love it.
I have to win. And then
Who did you?
I was like, dang, basic. Mine is so basic. It was cute, but it wasn't.
Who
like,
was it
super
for?
Cute. Her name is JC,
Gotcha.
one of Zach's wonderful friends. All the people there were great. It was supposed to be, of course, Jasmine and Melissa were invited. Brittany was invited. Kristen and Luke were invited. Brittany's nanny got sick. Jasmine and Melissa were out of town. Luke and Kristen, pregnancy, wasn't feeling so hot. Needed to kind of chill inside. So Luke came, which was great. It was fun to see him get out of the house. And so from our cast, it was Zach, me, and Luke.
Yeah.
And then some other friends, and Benji, of course. And then Jenna Willis has also just been around the Vanderpump world forever.
Right.
She's just a mutual friend of everybody. So she was there. And it was fun. Benji made mulled wine, which I've never even don't know if I've ever tried that before.
Mold wine?
Yeah. It's like, I asked him how he made
sangria?
it. Lots of spices, some juice. I don't know what kind of juice, but some kind of juice. And then wine. And you pour the wine in at the end because it's hot and you don't want to burn off all the alcohol content. So he made delicious mulled wine. It's a holiday thing. And it was fun. And I hung out and made a Christmas ornament. Jenna Willis made my ornament. It was very cute.
Yeah.
I need to put it on the tree today. So that was kind of just the most recent, literally yesterday. What else is up in our life with all of our people on our cast?
The gender reveal. We did the gender reveal with Kristen and
gender
Luke,
reveal.
a baby girl.
They're having a girl. Let's tell the story about how we got there, because it was after Thanksgiving. We were planning on spending
Thanksgiving weekend.
the whole Wednesday through Sunday with our family. I think it was on a Sunday, right? Or
It was on Saturday.
Okay, so we were planning on leaving our family's home, which is near San Diego, at like nighttime on Saturday, but
because we always have to do Thanksgiving at your
we don't
side of
have
the
to do
family.
Thanksgiving with my family.
Marital counseling.
Oh boy. Okay.
Premarital.
Brittany and Zach planned Kristen's gender reveal for midday on Saturday. So it was my brother's birthday.
2:00.
I made sure to spend the whole morning with my brother. He turned 18. And then we jumped in the car.
It was my
at
grandpa's
nap time.
birthday.
Yes.
No, the day before.
after.
Day before, the 29th.
Yeah.
102.
Yes.
102.
Good book, James.
Strong as a bull.
Exactly. So we hopped in the car with all 3 of the kids, threw all of our stuff in the back, and then rushed straight there. It started at 2 p.m. We got there at 2:33, and Brittany was texting me as we were trying to get all the kids out of the car and carry everything. She's like, "Where are you? We're ready." Like, Kristen just wanted to walk in the front door and do the gender reveal. Like, it wasn't like much of a, we all hung out, but she just wanted to find out the gender.
Right.
She wasn't trying to do a lot of hanging. So she was already waiting 30 minutes for us. We walk in.
It was very sweet.
And they were like, "Are you ready? Like, can we do it?" We got kids, diaper bags, all the things, juggling.
Because they also had a bunch of people on Zoom.
So many people on Zoom waiting as well.
Right.
And apparently there was paparazzi out. I never notice if they're like hiding in their car. I never see them. We didn't know there was paparazzi there when we were walking in, but there was paparazzi there hiding somewhere. I don't think they took any pictures of us. They don't know who we are. It's all about Brittany and Kristen and Luke, from that group.
Yep.
So, and Schwartz, who was there as well. So walk in, they have everything set up. They have the Zoom set up. They do the little string pull and
pink balloons.
It's a girl. Now, when we walked in, if you could have voted, did you think girl or boy? What was your vote?
I thought girl.
You did?
I did.
Why?
Well, the same reason, because you had told me, because you said Luke was so strong, felt it so strongly that it was a girl.
Yeah.
And, well, it was opposite for me, because I thought our first was going to be a girl, 100% sure, but then was completely shocked it was a boy.
Yeah.
And Kristen thought she was having a boy.
Yeah. So there was a moment a few months before they even got pregnant.
Yeah, before they even could see.
Where we were with them, group hang, and Luke had had this vision. And he said, and I wonder if they said this on their podcast because I haven't listened to their most recent ones yet.
Yeah.
But he had this clear as day vision. And he said, "Oh, Kristen, our first baby is going to be a girl." It was just so confident. He knew it. It wasn't I think, or I have a vision, so maybe. He was our first child will be a girl. And he knew it. I did, though. If I take that out of the equation, I can totally see Kristen being a boy mom as well.
Yeah.
I feel like she'd be an awesome boy mom with the dirt and the rocks. I don't know. I just feel like that's totally her vibe too.
Yeah.
But they're going to be incredible parents. They're going to be incredible girl parents. He's going to be a great girl dad.
Oh, big time.
We're very excited for them. And then
she's probably going to be a tomboy because he loves outdoor hunting, fishing.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to see their daughter do all of that with him, and Kristen too.
Yeah.
But Brittany bought these powder explosion
oh my God.
Cannons, but not the ones that go pop. It's where you hold the lever down and it just sprays like an aerosol.
Sprays a cloud.
A cloud
of pink.
Cloud. And so we did it for photos, a cute moment and all of that. And I love it because it's so great for photos.
Yeah.
No one realized that the pink powder would take over the entire backyard.
Yes.
Everything from the leaves to the grass to the cement.
To us.
All of us. My shoes still have pink on them.
Have pink.
Our clothes, our hair, the poor babies. I was like, get the babies out of here. They're inhaling this pink dust. We don't know what's in it. It literally just engulfed the entire backyard.
It did.
And then Kristen and Luke, when they were leaving, they had to put on hoodies and cover up and wipe down their shoes.
Right.
Because there was paparazzi outside and they didn't want it to get out because they had an exclusive, I think, with Us Weekly to share what they were having. So we really had to try to wash them down a little bit and get them covered up to get them out the door. And that was pretty funny. But Brittany and Zach did an incredible job planning it. Brittany just always has the cutest decorations, the best charcuterie
Goes
board.
all out.
She thinks of everything. And then Zach too, he's very creative. And so he had a lot of like fun little things for that.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a few more things that we've done recently with our crew. We did a photo shoot. We can't talk about it, but we did a photo shoot. You may have seen some very discreet behind the scenes. I think everybody on the cast posted like a black and white photo with like the set, but we can't tell you all the details, but it
was a big shoot.
It was a shoot and all of our friends were there.
Yes.
That's mostly all that we can say.
Yes.
Okay. Any other fun thoughts or questions when it comes to our friends, the Valley, Brittany, Jax, Jason, whoever else, all the J's, Jasmine. We got so many J names on our friend group that, any thoughts on anybody, anything? What's the latest?
Look, I mean, so much is obviously going on and will come out in season 2.
Yeah.
With obviously the Brittany and Jax thing. That's the biggest. The good news of Kristen and Luke. I think Jasmine and Melissa are just living their best life now.
I'm
they
so happy.
got engaged.
We haven't talked about that. Hold on. We're going to wrap up with celebrating Jasmine and Melissa because we've talked about the gender reveal and Kristen being pregnant and all these exciting things. Jasmine and Melissa are engaged. They had the most incredible trip. They did like a multi-country all over the world trip. I was living vicariously through them.
What we used to do.
What we used to do all the time.
Before children.
And we will do again.
Yes.
But they were all over the Philippines, El Nido, which I've been, like Palawan, like all these beautiful places, which we will go to and we will take our children. We will do it someday soon.
Yes, we will.
And then they went to Europe and I saw Jasmine briefly at the shoot that we were all at and got to give her a hug and congratulate her and see her ring, but I didn't get to hear the whole story. And I've been trying to be like, okay, let's grab lunch and hang out. I want to hear how the whole engagement went down because they both had a proposal planned.
Wow.
And all I know from like the little bit that Jasmine's told me was that like she thought she was going to be first and Melissa like found a way to like get her proposal first. Wow. So I want to hear all the details, but they're already out of town for the holidays. So after the holidays, we'll have to catch up, but I'm so excited for them. I feel like we've been talking just in our own personal lives, like sure on the show too, but like about their love and like someday engagement and just like, I just love both of them. So I'm very, very happy for them. I feel like that's a great happy note to end on.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of up and downs and crazy in just the lives of anybody on Vanderpump and the Valley. But what a beautiful note to end on. Lots to celebrate. We are celebrating Kristen and Luke and Jasmine and Melissa and just everybody else. Everybody is doing wonderful things. So I'm very happy for all of our friends. Let's wrap up this episode on Vanderpump in the Valley. We will see you next week. This episode, as you know, since you're listening to it, is dropping on a Thursday. Next week's episode will also drop on a Thursday, and then we will be back to regularly scheduled Wednesday episodes. So love you guys. Happy holidays. I hope you have safe travels and wonderful holidays with your family. Like and subscribe. Follow the podcast. Make sure you're listening every week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Later, guys.
Yay Media Group.